Imagine if you could stick to your goals. How would that change your life? Well, that's what I'm going to help you with in this video, so stick around. Welcome to another episode of Fearless and Power Tube. I'm Sharon Koenig of fearlesspursuits.com, and this is the place to be to create a better version of you. And if that sounds like something that you're into, consider subscribing. Alright, so you have goals and I have goals, and sometimes we fall flat on our face and we fail at reaching our goals. So we kind of wonder what's going on here, but most importantly, what ends up happening is we beat ourselves up and we feel like we're going to give up on our goals. If this is something that you have ever gone through, tell me in the comment section below. So one of the first things that I want to share with you what's going on here is we don't have the proper tools. We don't have the proper resources. We don't have a plan. So if you have goals, hopefully you've written them down and you've mapped them out in such a way that you know exactly what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, and when it's supposed to be accomplished by. But oftentimes people don't even do that. So we realize that there's so much going on with goals, and it often feels so overwhelming. And this is one of the biggest reasons why we don't stick to our goals. So I want to share with you something that I learned a long time ago. You see, it's not necessarily the goal in and of itself that we should be focusing on. So with a lot of the goals that I have done all of those things that the big pros say that you're supposed to do, and I'll share those with you too. But it's not the big game changer when you want to stick to your goal. So a lot of people want to lose weight. They want to make more money. They want to have better relationships. Well, the thing is you have to know exactly what you want first, and that is a no-brainer, right? But what we want to do is we want to figure out what those steps are. We have to figure out what each and every step along the way is to losing weight, right? Or making more money, or having that better relationship. But what it boils down to here is your behavior. If you're focusing on the goal all the time, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to make more money, you're not really focusing on the steps. You're not focusing on the behavior that you need to adopt, the behavior that you need to do each and every day that's going to get you to your goal. So, for example, when I wanted to step on stage as a physique competitor, I had to figure out what those steps were so that I could win. I wanted to go tooth and nail, and I wanted to win this thing. So I had to figure out every little thing along the way. The thing is that that whole goal is typically like 3 or 4 months when you're shedding off all of the weight, when you're toning up, and when you're learning to pose, and you're getting your bikini. It seems so big and so overwhelming, it's just too much to chomp off. And then when I decided to go online, have my online business, same thing. There's so many things that go into it. It just seemed like it was just too big, and I just really didn't know what to do first. And if you have ever felt so overwhelmed by your big, hairy, scary goals, then you know what I'm talking about. So what we have to do is we have to chunk it into a smaller period of time. So really what we need to do is we have to practice mindfulness. We have to say that we know what we have to do in this moment. We know what we have to do today, tomorrow, or next week. And that is all that we should be concerned about. Knowing what the steps are, being very clear about those steps is very important. But knowing that you have the behavior and you are actually moving little by little toward your goals is really key. Not necessarily focusing on the goal so much. So the other thing I thought was really huge for me was accountability. So when you want to stick to your goals, you want to announce it to people that are going to support you. You want to make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people. This is so important if you want to stick to your goals, because these people will help support you and push you and lift you up. But more importantly, these are people that you can look to for advice, and they can be your role model. Oftentimes, we see people that are doing the same thing that we want to do, and we can judge ourselves, or we can look to them like they're mentors and model after them. They're like an accountability partner for you when you are working with them with your goals. So a lot of the professionals out there talk about visualization. Now, I know this is really important, so I want to share with you a little bit about what I do. So oftentimes, it really starts at night. So when you go to bed at night, you want to visualize what you're doing to reach this goal, but you also want to visualize the bumps in the road. This is something that a lot of people don't visualize. And why is this so important? It's important because you want to see yourself getting out of those little bumps in the road, right? And you want to see yourself achieving and surpassing that, and then ultimately achieving your goals. So oftentimes people don't anticipate that they're going to have the bumps in the road. They don't visualize that. They visualize achieving the goal, and not even so much every single day. They just do it every now and then. And there's no way that they're going to be able to achieve their goals if they're just visualizing every now and then, maybe a second here and a second there. But we know that there is a real program that the U.S. Olympic team uses for visualization. We've learned through studies that the same cells and what is happening in the brain is identical to what is happening when they're actually running their race. So this is something that if we are smart enough, we will adopt. So as I said, I start at night. So I talk to myself with one word. I say success and whatever it is that I want to achieve. So if you want to do that, you can visualize yourself with the one word. You can say lose weight, love, improved relationships. So one word visualization fires off different thoughts. And so what you can do is then begin to play it out in your mind. And then you have the what if scenarios. But this is where you have to really be mindful, as I was talking about before. When you see yourself having those bumps in the road, you have to be careful not to go down that road too deep. But more importantly, you need to make sure that you see yourself getting through it and figuring out what it is that could possibly happen and what you could do to overcome that. So the next thing I like to do is to begin my morning in the same way. And it really is an amazing thing that happens when you start to visualize that goal early in the morning. So you see yourself achieving this goal and running through it again and again. And this is something that you'll see is becoming more of a habit when you end your night this way and begin your morning this way. And you'll see that you've got this on your mind and you're creating new behaviors that are in alignment with your goals. So what I think is really important, and I was talking about this a little while ago, is make sure that you start with small steps, because it is just too big for most people to handle when they're thinking about weight loss or getting healthy or making more money. We have to realize that it's the small steps that are going to get you there. So make sure that you don't look at the end. Sure, we want to have that end in mind, don't we? Of course we do, because this is what gives us clarity. But more importantly, we want to take a look at the small steps, things that we can achieve today that are really going to help us eventually, step by step, get us to our goal. So I want to ask you, what can you do? What behavior can you focus on that will get you closer to your goal? The bottom line here is that is what we need to focus on. It's the behavior that's going to get you there. So tell me, what behavior can you focus on that will get you closer to your goal? So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. And I have a very special gift for you down in the description below. I have created a brand new free course for you, which I have over on my blog. And it's all about self-sabotage. And it's going to help you create a better version of yourself. So if you are interested in getting that, go ahead and click on the link in the description and you can get your free course today. So thank you so much for watching, and if you want to watch more videos all about creating a better version of you and winning at life, consider subscribing. This is Sharon Koenig, and I am out.